going to be 101 here today. We're going for a little day trip west of the mountains. Out there, that's Mount Adams. And over here, might be just off the screen, I can't tell, is the tippy top of Mount Rainier. We're headed west. Excuse me, I'm in Duvall, and we are riding, you and I, we are riding the Snoqualmie Valley Trail again. This time, however, we're going from Duvall south, I think it is, and we're going to go down to Fall City and then back. So it's the second half of what that last ride that we did together. Should be a lot of fun. Right up this way there's a brewery. Hopefully it'll be open when we come back and we can stop in and have a beer and debrief the ride. When you come to Duvall, you're going to be at the north end of town, and this is the park and ride. So real easy to get to. Trail is right here. I'll show that to you in a minute. Got my map up. By the way, if you haven't got this app yet, Trail Link, this is a really great app to have. Gives you all kinds of trails and everything all around the country. I think it's like $50 a year membership, and then the app is, free, and you get to download the maps. It's just a great little thing. So here we are, we're going to head that direction. I think it's time for us to get going. This could be a long one today. All right, we're going to catch the trail, and as I mentioned, we're going to go to the left. The right will give us the end of the trail, and there looks like there's a little bit of a playground up here. Yeah, there's a little playground down there. And this blue building to the right is, forgot what it's called now, Valley House Brewing Company. So hopefully we can stop in, and just ahead the trail ends completely. So we're just going to turn around and go the other direction. Looks like a nice little brewing company. Hopefully it'll be open. Open daily, 4 to 8. Well, I guess we won't be going there today. She wasn't slowing down. It says slow, no dust on the sign back there. Obviously, she doesn't read signs. By the way, there's no sign that says that this is the Snoqualmie Valley Trail. Nice signs though to downtown Duvall, the little park back there. We'll have to check out the town when we come back. Snoqualmie Valley Trail, first sign. This trail, while not being paved, is very hard packed with some loose gravel. It's really, really very nice. Hopefully the clouds were going to burn off here not too long. It's a smidge chilly. It's nice to see that the trail is maintained. Really cool. Could be some of these transitions onto the bridges are a little bit rough. I'm on pass 1 right now. And 4th gear. Cruising along at about 13. Under a canopy of trees. Well, if you're a gray hair like I am, this is the place to walk. It's really beautiful here. I don't think I've ever been into the town of Duvall. We're in King County, which is home to big cities, Seattle, Bellevue, so on and so forth. And it is the most expensive part of Washington State to live in. And I believe that Duvall is possibly one of the more expensive smaller towns. Don't quote me on that, but it's desirable place to live. Obviously not just gray hairs along the trail this morning. So in ride 1, when I went from Rattlesnake Lake to Fall City, or just outside of Fall City, That was 15.3 miles, I believe it was. I think this one is going in this direction. It's about 18. Hi. People are serious about masking up here. The last ride, as I was just mentioning, from Rattlesnake Lake to Falls City, people were without masks. On this end, everybody seems to be wearing a mask. I asked this question the last ride. What do you do? Do you wear your mask when you're riding? If it's particularly crowded, you know, I would, but most of the time I'm by myself. Not two non-mask wearers there. Morning. Still a lot of farmland here. Don't know if you can tell over there to my right, lots of open land. And there's a little river over that way. I don't know which one it is. Snoqualmie River, maybe? We're crossing Northeast 124th. We're headed south, paralleling Highway 203. We're headed for Carnation first. Have I said yet that if you haven't ridden this trail, you need to? The first ride was great. The other end of it, the first 3 miles of this end of it, the north end, super great countryside. Man, I'm glad the state of Washington or the King County or whomever took back control of this trail, or this railroad right-of-way, to make it into a trail. Yeah, this is super. King County runs this. Just saw the sign. So by my calculations, this ride is going to be 37 miles today. I try to keep pass at 0 or 1 as much as I can, for two reasons. One, the first is probably obvious, so I can go as far as possible. And the second is for the exercise. The view is marred just a little bit by high power lines and the towers cutting across the valley. Don't know if you can see, but to the left kind of swampy there. The river must flood in there. Well, this area is known for floods in the wintertime. Well, Siri thinks I was talking to her. Wanted to tell me something about this area, but thanks, but no thanks right now. Hey, there's a house up there on the hillside, just ready to be purchased. Looks like it could use a little TLC. Oh yeah, you can see they've had to build up the trail here. There's the river. Well, they really fortified that down below. All kinds of logs and stumps to hold up the bank along here. And I'm sure it's not just for this trail, because the Highway 203 is running right next to me. And they don't want that undercut. By the way, this is my second long ride since putting the Wittkop saddle on, and it's nice. I know they had one that was slightly wider. You might want to consider that, but this is a nice saddle for $35, I think it was. Oh man, nice canopy here. Morning. Nice canopy of trees. One of my favorite things when we're in France is traveling the roads of France, driving the roads of France, and driving through the plane trees. As I understand it, Bonaparte had all these plane trees planted along the roads throughout France, so that, particularly in southern France, I think, so that his soldiers wouldn't have to march in the sun. Wow. That's pretty cool. Too bad he didn't think of his soldiers that much when he decided to invade Russia in the wintertime. Yeah, not a good decision there. Just think, a little bit of history along with your bike ride. A little bit of inclusion on France there. What more could you ask for? Well, that was nice. I thought that was going to be another surveyor thing, but it was scoop bags for people's dogs. We don't have a dog anymore. He died. Well, we had to euthanize him, to be truthful about it, last November, so it's approaching a year since we've been without the Doodle. But we would never have thought to go walking without scoop bags along with us. Just beyond me how people do that. All right, we are at 6 miles now, which is approximately a third of the one-way distance. Just amazing how time and space just flit by when you're having fun. I got my watch set to keep track of calories and all that stuff, heart rate. Kind of impossible to read with my sunglasses on, and the woman stopped to put to put on her mask, and she's I don't know if you could see that, had a corgi in her stroller along with the German Shepherd. So that's what I was talking about with regard to the swamp on the left-hand side. I guess that would be eastern side of the trail. Hard to tell for sure because the trail has been kind of going back and forth and to and fro a little bit. So I'm not exactly sure what direction I'm going. According to the map, we're going to take a slow turn to the west. You know, since COVID struck, howdy, nice looking doodle. Since COVID struck and my gym closed, gosh, was that April? So maybe even later March. I don't remember for sure, but you know, it's six months of not having a gym for me is, wow, it's so tough. I have packed on so much around the middle. Everything is just flabby. Even with all the riding and walking that we do, it's just not enough. And at night, I find I'm just sitting and feeding my face. It's not that we eat so bad, but just, oh well. You know, the one thing this trail is missing is toilet facilities. Not one so far. You know, if you're a follower of this channel, you know that I put on some Originate supercells a little while ago, and I made a video of it. I'll put a link to it. I just love them. I had a little bit of trouble last ride when I was near Tolt, and I had to go up this steep, gravelly incline. Not that it was a long one, but still it was, I had to push the bike and I had to use the walk mode, and the supercells didn't have any bite in that situation. But otherwise, good going. Well, what do we have here? Caution, highway crossing ahead. I remember passing this on the way up. To get to Duvall from south, you have to come up 202, which changes into 203 somewhere along the line, and you have to take some detours because the road is closed somewhere. And crossing, at least right now, is a breeze. There's next to no traffic. Kind of surprised. Very few bicycles today compared to part one ride. Of course, this is nowhere near as populated here as down near North Bend, but still. Well, at mile 8.9, we go by an elementary school. So we're getting into a little bit of a town here. Evacuation route sign there. I don't know if you can see that. That was in case the Tolt River Dam gives way. Oh, how would you feel about that? How would you feel about living under a dam that they're worried about giving way? I'm not sure if we're in Carnation or where we are, but it's a nice little community. Wow. Some newer homes. And this is all on my right, which would be the west side. You know, first thing, how many times I start a statement with "you know." Boy, I should count it up and try and cut them out. Morning. What I was going to say is that when I'm on my bike, I just cannot stop smiling. It is just a huge part. I just love riding that much. Of course, there are times if I have to climb a particularly steep hill or riding into the wind or something that I'm not smiling, but most of the time, absolutely. Crossing the river, that's nice. Very nice. Oh, look at the buckboard down there. GoPro's mounted to my upper chest, so I'm not sure if I'm twisting far enough for you to see some of these things that I'm trying to point out, but oh yeah, big ranches. Don't love the white fences. Kind of reminds you of what you'd think Kentucky must be like. So, doing 14 miles an hour, pass 0, and gear 4. We're 10 miles in, so about 2/3 of the ride to Falls City is completed. Of course, then we've always got to turn around and come back. Which is a little bit of a drag. But fortunately, it's such a lovely ride, you don't mind it much. And as I always say, you tend to see things that you might have missed when you come back. I know that happens to us a lot when we're walking around town, and we'll say, "What? When was that?" You know, just never noticed it because it was hidden behind a tree or something. Anyway. Another highway or major street. I don't know if it's a highway. I hear something, but I don't see. Yep, there's somebody coming. Morning. Must be going up a grade. It's not a steep one, but I've suddenly slowed down and working harder. You might be able to tell that I'm huffing and puffing a little bit. This is beginning to look as if this will be the first ride in a long time where I haven't seen somebody riding some kind of rad power bike. Part one of the Snoqualmie Valley Trail. Saw one guy riding a rover. Oh, better get going here. Oh. Welcome to Camp Don Bosco, Catholic Youth Organization, Archdiocese of Seattle. This guy is working hard, my goodness. Gotta hand it to him. He's obviously not a runner, but man, he's out there doing it. What is this? Trail work ahead. Hope that doesn't stop me. It looks like they're working on the bridge. And so, dude, are you going to stand there the entire time? Looks like it. No. Morning. 12 miles. And I was worried about being too cold when I started the ride, but I've been working hard enough where low 60s is comfortable. No idea where I am along here, but there's some houses for sale out here. If you're interested in living near the trail. Oh, we're coming to something of a downgrade here, looks like. Oh, and well, that looks like it might be the house up there on the trail side. An older place that's seen better days, but if you want to live out in the woods, wonder how many, if there's acreage with it. Even though it's run down, I'm sure that it isn't inexpensive. Well, on Trail Link on my phone, I can see Falls City has just come up on the bottom of the screen. We're at 12.5 miles, so it won't be long now. You know, oftentimes on the Facebook groups, people will ask, usually newbies, but how far you can go on a fully charged battery. And obviously that's dependent on a lot of things. Morning. Hills, wind, that kind of stuff. But number one determiner is how much actual pedaling you do at lower pedal assist ranges. I'm at just shy of 13 miles now, and I've still got a full 5 bars. Showing. Well, that kind of startled me. I was in a reverie. Some serious work here to hold the trail up on that very, very steep hillside. You know, it's hard to tell, but apparently we've been climbing a good portion of this ride. Nothing steep, mind you, but now we're above the valley floor. And crossing a ravine. I'd say that this was a tortoise and the hare kind of thing. It sure is. This has been freshly graded and graveled. We're at 14.3 now. Well, as I was saying earlier, we're high above the river and the valley floor, so we've been climbing for quite a while, and it's no wonder I've been under 10 miles an hour for a good portion now. We won't be going through the town of Fall City because it's down in the valley. Maybe we'll drive through on the way home. Signage. Interesting, the sign said 15.1 back to Duvall, and the rover says 14.7, so there's a discrepancy there. Ooh, another high trestle. Wow, we are way up here. That is a steep ravine, everybody. Houses up here along the back up to the trail. Pretty substantial places. Remember when I said toilet facilities earlier. Well, here we are, 16 miles, and there's a porta potty. And this is the end of the trail for us today. Well, this is the end of today's ride. This is the parking lot where I turned around on ride 1. So make sure you check that out at the end of this video. And down that way would take us down to Fall City. I'm headed back the way we came, right down that way. And where you see that blue car over there, that is the trail, and as it continues on back to Snoqualmie, back to North Bend and Rattlesnake Lake. So we now have done the full enchilada. Snoqualmie Valley Trail, awesome ride. You have to do it. And I found myself just looking at the screen over there, which is really stupid. That means I'm not talking to you. At any rate, make sure to subscribe if you like this kind of stuff. Leave us a comment, a thumbs up. We do appreciate it. We'll see you on the next one.